Last week, we were asking questions about the leader's ability to ask questions versus to give answers, and how critical it is that as leaders we ask great questions. This week, we're going to take it a step further, and we're going to explore more about how leaders can create thinking environments for their people. So our quotation for this comes from Nancy Klein, and one of my favorite authors, especially on coaching and creating thinking environments. And she wrote the book Time to Think, and then followed on by More Time to Think, which is an even better read. And she said the following: a manager's ability to turn meetings into a thinking environment is probably an organization's greatest asset. Wow, now that's a bold statement. But what is it about creating thinking environments? So as I've been training leaders around the world and getting more aware of conscious leadership and working to become a conscious leader myself, one of the things that's really struck me is that we tend to focus on telling people what to do rather than asking questions. And there's a place for telling. Roughly 35% of all tasks that are done in the corporate space are done at a not yet competent level. And so we need to, about a third of our time needs to be with the new people, with people who have a new task, to focus on them understanding that task. And therefore, we want to be able to give them instruction, teach them, pair them up with an expert, whatever it might be, send them on a course. So there is an absolute need for that. But what's much more fascinating is that a good 75% of tasks in the corporate space, so more than double the figure I've just given you, are done at a low commitment or a variable commitment level. Now, what that means is that the bigger problem, yes, we do have a competence problem and a need to grow competence, but a bigger problem is a commitment problem, where people simply do not have the motivation or the confidence in the task to be able to handle that task at a self-reliant level. So how do we get to self-reliance? Yes, they need to be competent, but the real issue beyond that is how do we increase their confidence in themselves and their motivation? And that's done through asking questions. That's where question asking becomes the key, and creating thinking environments where people are empowered to think, they're required to think. And when we are constantly bombarding them with the answers, we will never get them to become self-reliant. And self-reliance is a key. And so in our meetings, in our one-on-one meetings, in our team meetings, our leadership job is to get our people thinking, not for us as the leaders to be providing the answers. And if you are still providing the answers, you will never achieve self-reliance in your people. If you like this video, don't forget to hit subscribe, and that way you'll get more insights on conscious leadership.